Hi Stampers, thanks for joining me again this week. We're going to do a fun card. In fact, I'm going to call this a fun cut card. The first one we're going to look at is my original design, and I used all of the new colors. Well, all but one of the new colors. I used the Just Jade, Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, and the Bumblebee. Isn't that a cute one? You open it up and it's perfect. Put your sentiment in there and it'd be a great card to send to a friend. Okay, now look at this is a different version of it. I really like this one. In fact, I'm thinking this would be a great home warming or a welcome to your new home, right? All right, I know who's going to get that. My son just moved recently, so I'm going to have to get that in the mail to them. All right, and this is the card we're going to make today. Okay, I'm going to show you how to emboss as well as how to cut this out. Okay, look how cute that is. All right, let's get started. I had, let me introduce the set that we're going to be using. This is called Birds and Branches. Look how cute this is. Set her down here. All right, this is in our catalog, our new catalog. And if you don't have a new catalog yet, why aren't you telling me? Let me know. I'd love to get one out in the mail to you. I ordered more, so I've got them, and I'd like to get it to you. I'll either swing it by or drop it in the mail to you. Let me know. All right, in our catalog, new catalog, this is on page 174, and this is considered a bundle. So which is kind of nice about this is you get 10% off if you buy the stamp set, as well as buying the dies that go with it. Okay, and you probably all know how I do this. I get those sheets of magnet that are at the hardware store. You get 3 sheets and you trim them down and they run about $6. And then all your stamps are here and all your dies are on the other page, right? Everything's all together, which is really great. What I like to do is make a copy of the dies, all of them, so that when I go to put these away, I know that all my parts and pieces are here. Look, that one's missing. Okay, we'll put that there. The reason why that one's missing is we're going to use that a little bit later, so set that off to the side. But what I like to do is write down the product code and what page I found it in the catalog. Okay, I'm going to close that up, and I put double-sided tape at the top and double-sided tape at the bottom, so I'm able to get my sheet in there so that I know that I have all the dies when I go to put it away. All right, this set, we'll set it off to the side. Oh, and while we're talking about the catalog, don't forget, this is our bonus days time. What does bonus days mean? Well, it means that in July, all of July, all the way up to August the 3rd, you will be able to earn a $5 coupon to be used in the month of August for every $50 that you spend. Now that means for $50 a product, that does not include shipping and handling and tax also, but for every $50 you'll get a $5 coupon that you get to use in August. Why is August so important? Well, August is when our new mini catalog comes out. That is our holiday catalog, and oh my gosh, there are so many fun sets in there. I just went a little nuts the other day because as a demonstrator, I get to order a month ahead of time. So I'll be able to start showing you some fun holiday cards that we can make. All right, so remember, you'll get $5 that you can spend in the month of August in our new catalog. And again, we'll get those catalogs out. Yes, I have ordered catalogs for everybody, so let me know and we'll get them out to you. I should be getting them in the next couple of weeks. All right, I'm gonna set that off to the side, and if you, in my email, I told you all the pieces to have ready, have all cut. And this one is, of course, 5.5 by 8.5. And of course, it's a half sheet of paper. Go ahead and score it at 4.25. And then we have another piece that is 4.25 by 5.5. This is going to be the inside of your card, which will back up once we cut a hole in it here. That will be this part right here, and it's probably a little bit more noticeable. That's this part right here. Okay, so we'll do that. Now let me show you how we're going to cut this. Oh, and then also don't forget these two little pieces. It's a 1/2 inch by 4.25. Have those ready because we're going to be embossing those. Okay, now I'm going to show you a trick on how to get this cute little rough look on this. What you're going to do, I asked you to have pencils ready too. What we're going to do is we're going to take our inside piece, which is your 4.25 by 5.5. We're going to line it up on our trimmer, and this is going to be right at the top. We're going to do 2 1/8, just 2 1/8. We're only going to mark the top. Just put a little pencil mark there, pencil, and we're going to erase it later. So that's right at 2 1/8, right at the top. We're going to flip it on its side, and we're going to mark it at 2 1/4 at the top and the bottom, or the right and the left of your card. 2 1/4. All right, now we're done with that one. Now we're going to take the base of our card. We're going to put our fold on it. And I like to go ahead and use my bone folder and get it a really good crease. Okay, that's done. We're going to open it up. We're going to do the same thing again. Yep. Let's mark it right at 2 1/8. Just at the top. Oh, let me make sure that we have your card opening correctly, okay? Make sure your card is opening, and then we'll put this right up at the top, and this is at 2 1/8. Okay, we're gonna give that a little mark. And again, we're gonna turn it, and we're gonna mark it at 2 1/4 at the right side of the card and the left side of the card. Okay. Set this off to the side, and I'm going to show you how we're going to cut it. Okay, now this is your 2 1/4 at the top of your card, and this is your 2 1/2. So we're going to line that up right with this cutting well. This is right where our blade's going to cut. So 2 1/4, and this is 2 1/2. Lay it down, cut it just like that. Okay, and you can see by my marks, 2 1/4. And 2 1/8 and 2 1/4. Now we're going to turn it, and we're going to cut it going the other way. Here's your 2 1/4 and your 2 1/8. They're right in the cutting well. Just so my blade's going to go right across those 2 points. Cut that just like that. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so now we'll do the base of the card. And again, 2 1/8. And 2 1/4 right down here. Line them up. Go ahead, and you're going to cut through both layers. Look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, let's do the other one. 2 1/4 and 2 1/8, and we're going to run it right through there. Okay, and there's your card. And look, opens up. Okay, I also had asked you to go ahead and make sure that you had an eraser handy, because you're going to want to get rid of these marks, okay? Just go ahead and erase those off, and you're going to erase it off of the inside piece too. Just go ahead and get those erased. All right, let's make sure we get all that eraser dust off. All right, so I'm going to throw these pieces away and or save them. It's up to you. If you can think of a good reason to save them, go ahead and save them. Okay, let's get rid of all this eraser dust, and let's start building our card. Okay, I promised you I would show you how we're going to emboss the front of the card so that it looks like wood. And we're going to use the embossing folder that is in our catalog. It got carried over, and this is called our Pinewood Planks Dynamic Textured Impression. That's the number and what page it's located on, and it is in the new catalog. All right, here's our embossing folder, and we're going to get our Big Shot out. For those of you who do not have Big Shots, I got good news. Our brand new Big Shot is coming to you as a customer starting August the 3rd. You'll be able to order your own. All right, so let me show you a trick to this, and we'll show you how we're going to get this all embossed up. I want to make sure I got this in the camera. All right, now remember, this embossing folder is one of the thicker ones, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the original platform that came with the set, and this is the original. I use my magnetic all the time. We're going to use that in a minute, but this is a little bit thicker than the magnetic one. So to be able to make this embossing folder work, what we're going to do is set this down, and I'm going to show you a little trick. Always remember, when you're using an embossing folder, where does the fold go? Goes through first. Remember that. If you don't, I have broke the fold on my folders before, so be real careful about that. All right, here's my card, and here's how it opens, and I'm only going to emboss this side. I don't want the back embossed, because if I want to write on it, it's going to be kind of hard to write on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this card base, set it inside of my folder, and we're only going to put it up to the fold on my card base. Okay, can you see that? Right here is where the fold of the card is, and I'm only going to do that up to there. Don't want to go onto the back of the card. Now, one of the tricks about using embossing folders, and so that they don't bow, how many of you have bowed folders? Boy, did I. But I learned something new the other day, and I thought I can always learn something new, right? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my embossing folder right onto the platform, and I'm going to take my plate and put over the top. This keeps it from bowing. Watch this. We're just going to run it through. Only need to run it through once. Okay. Take that off. We're going to move this back. Now we're going to open it up, and look at that. Look at that. Isn't that great? It's only on the front. See? Just the front got embossed. Okay, now what we want to do is our Eve pieces also. These cute little pieces right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my folder, and I'm going to try to find some place that kind of looks a little interesting, and I'm going to put this under here so maybe you can see a little bit better. Okay, so no, it doesn't really show up all that much better. There's a wood graining here, and I want these to be very wood graining. So I'm going to set this one there, and I'm going to look over here, and this one looks, there's a knot right there in that one. So I'll set that down. I'm going to close down when I'm straight. I'm going to close down my embossing folder, move this out of the way. I don't need that extra spacing there. All right, going to run this right through. All right, I'm not done with my Big Shot yet, so we'll leave it right here because I still want to do my cutting of the door for the birdhouse. Look how cute these turned out. Okay, perfect. Set those off to the side, done with that. All right, I'm going to put my embossing folder off to the side, also done with that. I'm going to take out my Big Shot platform, and again, this is the one that came with the machine. So what I want now is my magnetic platform because I am going to use my dies. Well, the best thing about these dies is that when you're using your magnetic platform, the die is magnetic, so it sticks to it. Yeah. All right, so we're going to put a plate down over the top of it, because if you don't, as you can see, it will cut this. So we're going to put a plate down over the top of it. And I want to I'm going to take my card, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to watch these points and over here, because I don't want it to get scrunched as it's going through. Okay, now I'm going to take my die. And I think since my nest is going to be at the bottom, I will just go ahead and turn it this way. Okay, now on this one, I kind of liked so that the vine was kind of not all the way around. So use your own discretion. It's your design. Do it the way you want. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I want to put this right in the middle. So I'm going to look at this edge and I'm going to look at this edge. I don't want it too high, but I don't want it too low. So just use however you want to put it on there. Okay, so I'm going to set that down and I'm going to take my other plate and I'm going to put it over the top and I'm going to run it through my machine. All right, I'm going to go that way, and then I'm going to bring it back because that makes for a nicer cut when you cut it twice. Okay, I'm going to take that, put that over there, pick this up, and look how cute this turned out. This pops right out. All right, and there's still some little pieces left in there, so I'm going to take my pick tool, and I'm going to punch those out, just that easy. Keep my finger behind it so that I can move my foot around so it'll fall out a little bit better. All right, that one right there. Look at that. Look how cute that is. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna get this out of the way. We're done with the big shot. Okay, now at this point, you have a decision to make. You can go ahead and build it up exactly the way I did by putting a backing on it, or if you put your birds back far enough, you could put even a saying right there if you wanted to, right? Right there, and it would go all the way through. You could do that, or I am going to, for this video, I am going to go ahead and just put the backing on. It's my design, and that's the way I want to do it, okay? So to get this on, all you have to do is put a little bit of glue down along the edges. All right, yeah, it's coming out now. Okay, go just around the edges. Okay, and then you probably want to come in here too, okay? Get yourself some glue on there. Now I'm going to take my card, and as you can see the cut lines here. So, but if you flip it over, you don't see them. So I'm going to flip it over. All right, I'm going to line it up so that my tops of my roof line up. Going to close it up. Make sure that everything lines up. Like, see, get my points there. Okay. Press her down. Look at that. All right, so that's the inside of my card. Finishes that off. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our nest down. And I got 3 eggs that are going to go in there. And here's my birds. One here, one here. This one's going to go up there, and that one will go there. Okay, going to take my eggs and get them put in my basket, right? Get them put in the nest. Okay, just a little bit of glue on all 3 of them. Okay, now what I want to do is kind of line them up, and then I'm just going to set my nest over the top of it, just like that. Okay, you can see a little bit of glue coming out there. So I'm going to just press it down and wipe that glue off with my finger. All right, there's my eggs in my basket, in my nest. All right, so now what we'll do is just put a little bit of glue right here so that I can glue it down to my front of my card, and I can move it down just like that. All right, now we don't want to put the birds on yet. We want to put those on in a minute. I'm going to show you how I went about getting the eaves of my roof on. Okay, what I did is, this is, you're going to need a pencil again. One nice thing, if I'm going too fast for you, put me on pause and then you do the step and then come back, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to go along the edge here. We're going to glue this down, but first we want to, I like this look where it has the point right here where the eaves come together. I'm going to show you how I did that. There might be an easier way, but I'll show you how I did it. It's a 45-degree angle and I can't figure it out any easier. All right, so I'm going to move this down. Hopefully we can all see here's the edge of my base. I'm going to line this up along here. Now, I kind of like this look that it's kind of got a little bit of a point here and it really makes it more pronounced. So that's what I'm going to go with. You can, if you want, run it all the way off the edge. You're going to have to cut this off because this card is so wide that it's not going to fit in an envelope if you leave the edges on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up here and see how I can see the point of the roof right here. Going to just bring that up just so I can see the point of the roof. I'm going to use my other piece. This is my other eave. And I'm going to look, see, here's where my point is. I'm going to try to make this as straight as possible. Not using this grid paper, really, I just realized it really helps. So I can kind of make sure that this is straight along with this grid paper. And also you can buy this grid paper yourself if you were placing an order. All right, so now I'm going to just draw a line, just like that. Okay, see my pencil line? I take my scissors, gonna cut that straight like that. And there's my eave, the point of my eave. Now, to get the other side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down, and again, make sure I've got it nice and straight along the edge here. Now I'm going to use this as my guide. Set this down like this and make sure my point is up here straight and that's straight there. I'm going to just draw a line. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll cut that. All right, cut that just like that. Let's see if it worked. It did, look at that. Perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue here. Yep, we're almost done. A little bit of glue here. Okay, set this down just like that. And before it gets stuck really good, go ahead and get your other edge right up there. Now what I did was I used my fingernails, ran it along the edge here. Make sure my point's nice up there. Same thing again. Run my fingernails along the edge so that it lines up. Flip it over. Yep, it lined up really, really well. Flip it back over. There, look at that. Okay, now we can put our birds on. Again, you can use dimension if you want, or just some glue. I'm going to just put a little dab of glue right there. Remember, bring in his tail, or your card will not fit in an envelope. And a little bit of glue on this guy. I like to call her the female of the two birds, and I like putting her down here right close to the eggs because she's keeping an eye on them. And he's keeping an eye on them too from up there. All right, now to finish this, I like to make so that the roof is a little bit more pronounced. So what I do is I grab a dauber, and I'm using Early Espresso. Grab my dauber. This is my Early Espresso dauber. Okay, I like to mark them because when you got your browns, you really can't tell which brown is which. So I'm going to put a little ink on here, and then I'm going to get a scratch piece of paper, and I'm going to draw a little bit of a circle right here because it blends it into the dauber, into the sponge part. If you just go like this and see how much it just doesn't blend. So I like to go like this and blend it in there. And just go like this, go along the edge. Okay, and see how that makes it more pronounced? All right, if I want a little bit darker, I'm going to ink it up again, and then I'm going to rub it in so that it goes nicely on the sponge. And there we go. Look at how cute that turned out. That is all there is to this card. Look how cute that turned out. All right, ladies, fun cut. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, if you want to place an order or you need some help on a special card that you want to make for a friend, anything, give me a call. I'm here for you, and I'd love to talk with you and catch up. It's been a while since I've seen all of you. So I want to thank you again. Have fun. Please send me pictures of what you came up with, because I'm sure it's going to be very different than mine turned out. All right, thanks for sharing. Bye.